bit of a baffling one, really. But is there any more time in this game? I'm not too sure.
The Blackburns put it out of play. Parkinson retrieves the ball for Wrexham. We've had 30 seconds over the 8 minutes. He should have a little bit on. Clewer throw-in will drop wise for a throw to Wrexham. Will it? It's gone out of play. Is that the final whistle? Yes, it is. Well, Wrexham shocked here at Shrewsbury. If we'd won, we'd have gone top. But instead, we lose 2-1. A match which, well, I mean, we conceded 2 goals which really were avoidable, and that was really what put us snookered behind the 8 ball. 17th minute, poor header by O'Connell, great work by Marquis, who drove into that right channel and thrashed an excellent finish inside the right post. Wrexham hit back 6 minutes later though, possibly a foul by Rathbone in the build-up that's gone to Shrewsbury, but it looked like a very well judged tackle, and Barnett whipped a lovely cross which Fletcher headed home. Wrexham looked to get on top as the half went on, and you felt comfortable at half time, frankly, but in the second half, well, again, a nightmare for O'Connell, not realising Lloyd was behind and turned and caught him in the box. Penalty rightly given, driven home confidently again by Marquis. Beg your pardon, driven in. O'Connell saved it, but Marquis had a simple tap in. And in all honesty, Wrexham tried their best, threw attacking options on, including Marriott's back from injury, but we just couldn't break down Shrewsbury's excellent defence.
No, and first of all, obviously, full credit to Shrewsbury. They were superb today. Did everything that I'm sure Gareth Ainsworth asked them to and more. Really full credit to them. I think Wrexham will be really frustrated to be leaving here with nothing, but then at the same time I can't think of too many opportunities we really made in that second half, so you can't put up much of a fight to say we deserve much more out of that. But again, maybe does that ask the question, do we need something else in January? We were just missing that little bit of something different tonight. I know both the Shrewsbury goals have come from errors at the back, which we should do better with, but at the same time we've got to go up the other end and score some more goals to get something out of that game. We just haven't been good enough tonight. In a derby game, I think you've got to give credit to Shrewsbury in that sense. I think they just wanted it a bit more today, and sometimes in these sort of high intense games that can be the difference. And I think they from minute one they had that fight, they were battling their absolute socks off, and you have to say they've deserved something out of this game, and they've got the full 3 points, and Gareth Ainsworth will just be hoping now they can take that on in the next few weeks, and this could be a real change in momentum for their season.
I fully agree with you, Mia. I think Shrewsbury were well worthy in that second half. The intent that they started the game with, and the way they went about it, they created and they put so much pressure on the back line that they caused the 2 goals for themselves. And I think that second goal, just after half time, it really hurt, it really rocked Wrexham, and that's really unusual for the way that we've been playing. And sometimes you look for a break to be a good time to recharge the batteries and get away, and sometimes it can really put a little wedge in your momentum and your thinking and the way that you approach a game. And I just thought Wrexham just went off script a little bit second half, and it's not barely so unusual for them to go away from that 3 and that play and the way that they play, and the diags of wide balls and crosses in the box. And I thought for the last half an hour we were just way off what we normally do and the structure that we normally play from. And I get that you're trying to get back in the game, but it was way off what we normally do, and it was so way off that we didn't look, and I don't think we deserved to get back into the game off the back of it.
I mean, I think we had 4 strikers on the pitch for what was it, last 10-15. I can't think of a single shot really we got away, and that's a big problem. I know you've got to obviously get the service into them, but yeah, I just don't think the approach was there. I think maybe we were a bit frustrated. I'm not too sure what was wrong today. Obviously, like Andy says, maybe that break that we've had for the last 12 days or so hasn't helped. But again, fair play to Shrewsbury, but we've got to pick ourselves up now, because in a week's time we're playing arguably the best team in the league, and if we perform like that, we certainly won't get anything out of that.
Yeah, absolutely. So just seeing down on the pitch as well, the Shrewsbury fans all celebrating with their team, and I think a nice gesture, because I suspect that's their skipper Carl Winchester's last game for them, and Ainsworth brought him up to the Shrewsbury fans to allow them to pay their own tribute to him. But as they walk around, they deserve the plaudits they're getting from their fans, because they did deserve to win this. I mean, like you said, second half, what chances did we make? We had a big scramble, to be fair, where Fletcher had a shot blocked, and the ball just wouldn't go in for us. We had that lovely individual piece of skill by Fletcher when he brought down a long ball and tried to curve it around the keeper and went just off target. But that was it, really, wasn't it, in all honesty? And if you can only create that against a side that is fighting for their lives, you haven't really done enough to win it.
No, and sometimes it just isn't your day. Sometimes that ball just isn't going to fall for you. Your luck's just not on your side. But I think just the more worrying part, I just didn't recognise really any real patterns of play. There just didn't seem like there was any sort of plan, which is just really worrying. And I mentioned it earlier, but we're looking at February where we haven't got any home games, and our away form at the moment, it's just a really worrying sign. Just really needed something like today, get a big result and just really take you forward into the next few weeks. We're still in a really good position, don't get it wrong, but if we can just pick up that away form a little bit, I think it would just really really push us on towards the end of the season.
Yes, I think you look at the Shrewsbury team and the way they went about their business today, and you talk about a team reflecting the manager's enthusiasm right there, and we've seen it right from the start. And I think you look at the Shrewsbury team and they did work so hard, and they put us under pressure. It made it awkward for us to play it, but like Mia says, we just went off what we normally do of playing, having our three in midfield rotations, getting it wide, getting crosses in the box, and we're trying to get we're going to try and get back in the game with putting four strikers on, but that really disrupted us getting anywhere up the pitch, really, and then we're just hitting hopeful long balls. But there's never a bad time to get a little reminder that this is a tough league, and every game is going to be hard, and if you're not at it, you get found out, whether you're playing in a derby down the road against 22nd in the league, or you're playing against Birmingham who are first and expected to win the league by a mile. We've got that one to come back to, so really you just have to reflect, review it, but you've got no team talk to do for the next week, because all eyes will be on that Birmingham game, and it doesn't matter what happens on the weekend with other results around us. We have to concentrate and we have to get back to what we're good at, and we are very, very good at home, and we just go to back our platforms and then just crack on forwards.
We were drawn into a war. I don't think it's all just because it's a derby, but it's also, two teams of quite similar shapes. It becomes almost a man-to-man battle, and I think by getting drawn into that battle, we opened up the opportunity for Shrewsbury to win those scraps, which I thought they did well.
Yeah, but how many of our players were better than the man that they were up against today? And normally we've got 8-9 that are, he's played better than him today when we're matched up. But really, today, 8 or 9 are opposite way round really for us. And O'Connell's had one of those days, unfortunately, where it's just not been a great day for him. He's had those, but he's been absolutely exceptional for us as well. So you've got to marry that up with that. They'll be as disappointed as anybody to concede the goal that we did concede. But back to the drawing board, get back to go, get back training, forget about it, move on. You're going to lose games in this league. Just make sure you win the next one.
Exactly. So, any more, Mia, or shall we call it a night?
Thank God we're not having to go home too far tonight. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, if we play like this at Exeter, or should I say if it turns out like this at Exeter, that'll be a totally different matter. Well, real disappointment and frustration for Wrexham, but the games keep coming thick and fast. Next Thursday, join us, of course, and we'll see if Wrexham can make amends at home to Birmingham City. A tough task, but then sort of task that this team's been motivated by, with a final score of Shrewsbury Town 1, Wrexham. No, pardon, that's wishful thinking, wasn't it? Final score of Shrewsbury Town 2, Wrexham 1. We've been Mark Griffiths, Andy Morrell, and Mia Roberts from Wrexham AFC.